So for example, great example, I was coaching with this guy, manager of an organization, an arts organization. And he said, I've got this employee and she is terrible. And I was like, what do you mean terrible? And he said, well, she always shows up late to work. I'm like, okay, all right. I've seen this before. Let's talk it through. And I was like, well, what time does she show up? He said she shows up every day at 10 o'clock. I'm like, okay, well, what time is she supposed to arrive? And he said she's supposed to show up between 8 and 8:30. I'm like, okay. How did you communicate to her that she should show up between 8 and 8:30? He said, oh, I told her, and just like I tell everyone, you need to show up at a reasonable time. Those are the words he used. And I was like, okay, well, is it possible that a reasonable time means 8 to 8:30 to you, but it doesn't mean the same thing to her? And he's like, no, everyone knows that's what it means. It's like, okay. Because to him, she was being irrational. That was irrational behavior. And so I said, okay, let's dive in. Let's try to figure this out. And so I had a conversation with the woman, and I found out that her previous job was working at a bar. She's a bartender. And so I'm like, wait a minute. So for a bartender showing up at a reasonable time, 10 o'clock that's early. Like, she's showing up early. And I said to him, I was like, did you realize that she shows up every day at the same time? Like, it's not that she's showing up like 10, 10:30, 10:40, 9:40. Like, no, every day at 10. That means she thinks she's doing something perfectly rational. And these kinds of things are happening all over the place, where people feel that I was perfectly clear. Everyone knows this. It's common sense. And that idea, the common sense idea, is so bizarre, because it means what? It's sense is intelligence. Common, everyone has it, but you, right? And it's like we're judging people's intelligence all the time. So it's surprisingly pervasive. And when we start to understand, it's like, oh, we can actually gain a lot of freedom from this if we understand the brain science of what's causing it.